In the day's other headlines, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says that at President Trump's direction, she has revoked the security clearances of 37 current and former government officials. They include some who worked on a review of possible Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. In a memo, Gabbard accused the staffers of, quote, politicization or weaponization of intelligence for partisan purposes. The Trump administration has launched a sweeping effort in recent weeks to cast doubt on the intelligence community's findings that Russia interfered in 2016 in order to benefit then-candidate Trump. Hurricane Erin is churning off the coast of Florida as a Category 2 storm as it slowly makes its way up the Atlantic coastline. The massive storm is due to stay offshore, but it's expected to produce life-threatening surf and rip currents from Florida all the way to Canada in the coming days. Along much of North Carolina's Outer Banks, there are tropical storm and storm surge warnings, and in some areas, authorities have ordered evacuations at the height of tourist season. Local officials are warning of rough surf and large waves that could reach 10 feet, which would make roads impassable.
We encourage the local folks to leave as well because we're not going to be able to provide services. If you have a heart attack, a medical event, house catches on fire, whatever, we can't get to you. And so it's real important that people sort of heed the message. This is going to be several days where we're not going to have the ability to move around in the villages.
The biggest ocean swells along the East Coast are expected tomorrow and into Thursday. Already, officials in North Carolina say at least 60 people had to be rescued from rip currents near Wilmington. For the first time in 30 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics is offering vaccine guidance that differs from official U.S. recommendations. In guidance issued today, the AAP is, quote, strongly recommending COVID-19 shots for kids aged 6 months to 2 years. Vaccines are also advised for older children at their parents' discretion. That differs from guidance established under U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which doesn't recommend shots for healthy kids of any age. Instead, the administration says kids can get the shots in consultation with their doctors. The State Department has reportedly canceled more than 6,000 student visas. As first reported by Fox News, around 4,000 were pulled because of crimes including assault, driving under the influence, and burglary. As many as 300 visas were revoked over what an official called support for terrorism, though no further details were provided. The cancellations represent just a fraction of the more than 1 million foreign students who study at American colleges and universities. But they are the latest example of the Trump administration's tough approach towards student visas as part of its broader immigration crackdown. Nebraska's governor and the Department of Homeland Security announced plans today to open an immigration detention center in a farming area in the state's southwest corner. Dubbed Cornhusker Clink, officials say the former inmate work camp will provide up to 280 beds for ICE detainees. The announcement follows the opening last month of what the administration calls Alligator Alcatraz in the Florida Everglades. That facility has been the subject of legal challenges by attorneys who say the inmates are not given due process and are forced to endure poor living conditions. The centers are part of a broader effort to meet the infrastructure needs of the Trump administration's deportation push. In the Middle East, Egypt says the ball is now in Israel's court after Hamas tentatively agreed to a ceasefire proposal put forward by Arab mediators. But Israel has yet to offer an official response. Hamas and Arab officials say the current deal would involve a 60-day truce, the release of some Israeli hostages and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, a surge of aid to Gaza, plus talks to permanently end the war. A Qatari official said today the framework is similar to one Israel accepted in the last round of talks involving the U.S.
It is almost identical to what was agreed on previously by the Israeli side. This proposal represents the best possible option to stop the bloodshed of our brothers in the Gaza Strip, especially considering the ongoing military escalation.
In the meantime, hospitals in Gaza recorded 28 fatalities today, including women and children. Some were killed in Israeli strikes and others while seeking aid. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 62,000 Palestinians have now been killed in the war. Also today, a United Nations report finds that of the record 383 aid workers killed last year worldwide, nearly half were in Gaza. Air Canada says it will gradually restart operations after reaching a deal with 10,000 flight attendants on strike. The agreement will guarantee pay for work done while planes are on the ground, a driving factor behind the walkout. The strike began over the weekend, affecting some 130,000 travelers each day during the peak summer travel season. Overall, nearly 500,000 travelers had their plans disrupted. The airline says flights will resume tonight, though it may take a week or more for service to be fully restored. On Wall Street today, stocks struggled amid a sell-off in big tech stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added just 10 points on the day. The Nasdaq fell more than 300 points. The S&P 500 ended lower for a third straight session. Still to come, on the News Hour, we examine the causes behind stubbornly high beef prices. Russian misinformation finds increasingly sympathetic ears among the religious right in the U.S. And a new biography of legendary author James Baldwin through the lens of love.
This is the PBS News Hour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.